No, I want to talk about the cabinet appointments because we've had a heck of a week of cabinet appointments. And I guess we're gonna wait to see if they're gonna be appointed via recess appointment or sworn in. Or hearings. Anyway, the point is that we've had a week of cabinet appointments. And I don't necessarily want to go through them all. We can, but I don't necessarily want to go through them all. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about them, but primarily what you think are the best and what you think are the worst cabinet appointments so far.
Go, Michael.
Brad.
Go, Michael. So I downloaded Truth Social just so I could see who the appointments were. Who are the best? I'm going to probably have a contrarian view here. The ones that the media are losing their mind about the most are actually the best picks. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services. Very interested that Jared Polis, the Democratic governor of Colorado, came out in Colorado came out in support of that nomination. That's my top one. Number 2, Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. No, number 2 is Tulsi Gabbard for DNI, and then 3, Matt Gaetz for Attorney General are my favorite picks. My least favorite picks are, one in particular, Little Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. Ugh.
That's your least favorite pick.
Why is it your least favorite pick? Because you're mad that
Marco Rubio and this is Michael Searle. Come on.
Yeah, he's neocon.
I'm sorry for trying to make a conversation on a podcast, Charles.
He's a neocon through and through. Like, I thought we were saying no neocons in the administration, and he appointed Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. He's a neocon. He supports the Ukraine war. He supports war with Iran, with China, with continuing in the Middle East. He supported every war that's ever been in front of his face. My hope is that he is going to take direction from Trump, the Trump White House, and the new Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and others.
Now, why would he pick? That is sort of it seems out of left field a little bit, picking Marco Rubio. I'm not sure. Does it go to a special election, his seat, or is it an appointment by DeSantis?
Appointment by DeSantis.
So, okay, we're not going to, so there's no chance of losing that Republican seat, but maybe DeSantis will pick a more, I don't know, less neocon person.
Well, Rick Scott, the other senator from Florida, is pushing Lara Trump, and apparently there's like a big push now that is rallying behind her. Which
music sensation Lara Trump?
I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like that's kind of we're getting in the realm of doing the whole Clinton Biden-esque thing where we're just like, oh, you're the son or the daughter of someone. Well, you should be like, I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, she was also the successful head of the Republican National Committee, the RNC, and led a Trump landslide election. And she's wicked smart.
I'm not, this is not a knock on her credentials at all. I'm just saying though, there are a lot of people who could do that job in Florida who, if she were not where she is at the RNC, would probably be in the running for that. And the reason that she is where she is in the RNC is also because of who her father-in-law.
I think
but if they pick her,
I mean, I think Trump likes Rubio. This is the sense I get from watching what happened. I think he was seriously considering him. Maybe he was the front runner for Veep, and he got persuaded to pick JD Vance, which ended up being the right pick in the end by his son, Charlie Kirk types, the MAGA crew. And he probably told Rubio, I like you. I'm going to put you at Secretary of State, but I'm not about all these wars like you are. We're going to bring an end to the Ukraine war. And I think he thinks he can probably manage his worst instincts, or at least that's how I'm viewing it for now. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Without your bravery, we're all out of luck. No, this can't be denied.
Is this serious?
You gotta never see this. And this is not her only endeavor into music.
Takes a lot to put your last.
Go on your iTunes and follow
it. That is so good.
She's not good at singing.
Brad, what is your favorite and least favorite pick?
Wait, did you say I was busy trying to find that clip. Did you say your guess as to why he picked Little Marco?
Yeah.
I think he likes, I think he was the front runner for Veep. I just said all this. I think he was the front
runner.
Coming in hot.
That's wait, why that? That's a weird question. I mean, you have to answer questions from the chat
Well, of course, Brian Searle.
naturally.
Naturally.
So who's my favorite? My favorite,
Favorite and least favorite.
favorite and least favorite. I mean, it's great that RF Kennedy's being, putting up there for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really care. That I mean, is Pete? What's his name? Hegseth? What kind of name is that?
Hegseth.
I think that's kind of a cool pick. It's interesting. I don't know a whole lot about him. It's cool that he's from the outside. I've listened to some of his speeches, and it seems like a lot of people are pissed off that the right people are pissed off that he's not like a defense contractor or, in bed with the defense contractors. So I think it's cool.
Your favorite pick you're saying? It's your favorite pick?
I'm sorry, what?
That's your favorite pick?
Oh, RFK for Secretary of Health and Human Services is my favorite pick. I mean, Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, is kind of a cool pick. Am I right? Doug being like the most exciting person ever to be in politics. Charles, he was your favorite, I think. Tulsi Gabbard, famously on a no-fly list, I believe, is now the director of national intelligence. So I guess she gets to figure out why she was on a no-fly list. Don't delete those files, CIA or whoever did that.
No, those are gone.
No, you can't do that. What do they do? Bleach bit it?
Is Burgum official though? I haven't seen a truth.
I saw. Well, Caitlin Collins
you are so mad.
That he said it last night at the AFPI dinner. That Trump said it at the AFPI dinner.
He just hasn't had time to truth it out. Burgum.
Did Brian Searle's YouTube account get hacked? What happened?
No, some guy from work grabbed his phone and typed that first one. Which guy from work?
Yeah, which guy?
Is he interested or what's up?
No.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Charles?
Grinder.
I don't have a favorite pick, I don't really have a least favorite. I'm just kind of like milquetoast about them all, to be completely honest. I don't really have a.
Yeah, is this another one of those things where like you don't feel things, like you said last week?
No, I mean, I just feel like people are pumped about some of them. I don't know. I'm not really too excited about any, but I think they're going to hopefully do some good stuff. There were some good other people in the first administration there were people who seemed to be good when they were appointed in the first administration, then turned out to not be good. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I don't really feel much one way or the other. One way or the other. I think the RFK one I don't know. I didn't know who RFK was until obviously this cycle. And I say obviously because quote unquote the normie. And so I'm interested to see what happens. Oh, Tom Homan. Okay, that's the one. Tom Homan. Because something's actually, with the border, I think. That's probably
Tom Homan's a good pick. That guy's cool.
He was the one who, when they asked if how you were going to deport all these people if they had family, he said you deport their families.
Yeah, on 60 Minutes. And then when AOC was grilling him up at the Hill, as the insiders call it, she was grilling him about separating kids from families. And he's like, I mean, when you arrest parents, they get separated from their kids. That's normal. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And then that Pajayak, or what the hell her name was, I can't remember her name, Congresswoman grilling him. I guess. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one, Charles?
I mean, I meant that one is in. That's who he's.
We don't talk that way on this show. He fucking snapped back at her. Said, "You work for me. I'm a taxpayer."
That would be awesome.
Wait. Okay. So, follow-up question to this about favorite and least favorite picks. Do you think some of these appointees are just figureheads? Meaning, like, do you think Rubio is genuinely going to be leading foreign policy? Do you think what's her name is genuinely going to be leading the strategy at the UN, or do you think these are all just figureheads and
at least
Elon Musk is running the show?
Elon Musk
Or whoever.
Probably Vivek. He's running the show.
Yeah, I think that some of them are figureheads, like Pete Hegseth. He's a figurehead. There are going to be people behind the scenes that are actually running the policy for the DoD, not him.
Why do
he's going to be talking about that?
Why him? Why single him out?
Because he's a TV news guy.
Well, he's also he works a lot with veterans and veterans affairs, and he's a veteran himself.
Yeah,
has been in war
Mhm.
That doesn't make him qualified for the job, but he's also an author. Does that count?
He went. I think I saw something. He went to like Harvard and somewhere else, and he deployed to Bahrain and Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's part of the. I don't know if it's the reserves or I don't know. I don't know his background, so I can't.
But yeah, I think some of them are going to be figureheads. I think some of them are actually going to be doing the job. Like Kristi Noem's a figurehead. Whoever her deputy is going to be, whether it's Chad Wolf or somebody like that, like will actually be running the show.
That is weird that Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security, what is that? What is happening? Why her? Are there too many dogs in this world? What's happening?
Yeah, she lost me after she killed the dog.
Same.
I don't understand why her. Like, what is Secretary of Homeland Security, dumb it down. What do they do?
Homeland Security?
They make you shoes off?
They oversee the border patrol, they oversee ICE, they oversee the NSA. So
what is this North Dakota bitch doing that for? Is there a bunch of Canadians that she has experience with? Why not someone with experience with the border?
Well, he's got Tom Homan doing the border stuff.
Oh my God.
Kristi Noem is just running the agency. And hey, look, I won't pivot us, but she's probably more of a figurehead, and there are going to be people like Stephen Miller and Tom Homan who are actually implementing border policy for the Trump administration, not Kristi Noem.
You know who's been rumored to be Secretary of Education?
No.
Who?
Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert.
Get out of here. No, she is not. Has she
That
really?
is in the rumor mill. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, one thing these appointments have us leaving is we don't have any governors of the Dakotas anymore. There are none.
Yeah,
so,
Burgum and Noem. What's going to happen?
Now?
I guess they have special elections.
I don't know. What the bison vote? I don't know what happens.
A bison vote?
You should move to the Dakotas and be the governors. Here's one thing that stood out if you take a step back and look at this, like significant change from 2016 Trump. I'll just read some of the names from that list. Jeff Sessions, Rex Tillerson, James Mattis, John Kelly, Mike Pompeo, Scott Pruitt. Like he filled his previous administration in these positions with neocons, and now we've just got one. So that's an improvement.
I mean, I would say two at least.
Who's the second? Ratcliffe?
Well, Stefanik and Rubio.
Oh, yeah, Stefanik.
You guys are playing with fire, talking smack about Stefanik. I tell you, you're going to piss off some wrong people.
Next one. So Gates sex trafficking.
Is he sex trafficking, or is he just accused of having sex with a 17-year-old?
No, I think he's accused of sex trafficking.
Oh,
but he's also accused of having sex with a 17-year-old. Yes.
He's accused of, before he was married and in Congress, he was flying younger women into DC and having sex with them. And there are rumors from the House floor that he was bragging about it, showing pictures and videos to his colleagues. And there was a House ethics investigation into it. There was an FBI investigation into the allegations. The FBI decided to not bring any charges. The Ethics Commission has a report, but will they release it if he's no longer a sitting member of Congress? Will they lose their jurisdiction? So I don't know if they'll release it or not, but those are the allegations. They have not obviously been proven, and the FBI didn't find it had enough evidence to bring charges.
They
may not release it because of jurisdiction questions. I don't understand. It's a report of someone that they were investigating while he was a sitting member. Why is I mean, you made a report, release it. What the fuck are you talking about jurisdiction? Maybe you don't do it. You don't start the investigation after he resigns. That makes sense as far as jurisdiction goes, but you already done the work.
But it's a report on the allegations and recommendations on what to do. And now that he's no longer a sitting congressman, they no longer have jurisdiction. So I thought the head of the commission or the committee said yesterday that he's not going to release the report.
He did say that. And then today, the speaker said, right before we got on the show, he said that it would go against precedent to release it. And so they're not going to release it. But everybody's saying that it's going to be leaked because apparently the committee head and Gates really hate each other, so they're expecting it to be leaked. And to your point about the videos on the House floor, Senator Markwayne Mullen was saying that he used to go around showing them videos and stuff in an interview. Like, you can go look up the interview. And so
Yep.
I don't know, but he's going to
Showing
be.
videos, I mean, showing videos of young women, while not that you're not supposed to kiss and tell, Matt Gaetz. 1, 2, especially not on that House floor. 3, looking at video. I mean, how does that person know that they were like, what is it underage girls or is it of age? Is it just sex trafficking? I don't understand. Is it underage sex trafficking? What's the detail?
I think it's a little bit of it all. There was sex trafficking. There was a lot of girls. There was one girl who said that she was 17. And so I think there's a mixed bag of things.
Okay.
All of this alleged, obviously.
Well, I think we should see the report. No?
Taxpayers paid for it.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I think we're going to see the report just because of the Senate confirmation. I mean, of the picks here, I think RFK and Gaetz are probably the most controversial and are going to receive the most scrutiny. I think it was a mistake for the Democrats and even the Republicans to oppose Kennedy, but that's a separate issue. I think they will draw the most scrutiny. There will be possibly FBI background checks. And I would think the people that are opposed to Gaetz, which is probably more than half of the Republican caucus in the House, are going to make sure that report sees the light of day if it makes him look bad.
To your point about the FBI background checks, there was a report out today that said that the administration's kind of, for a number of candidates, bypassing those and using their own, I guess, efforts and then hiring third-party ones. So we'll see what comes of that. To the question, but though before about are these figureheads, do you think he's a sacrificial lamb?
No, I don't.
Do you think
I think Trump genuinely wants him to be AG, and I love it.
Brad, how do you feel about it?
I feel like Michael might be wrong and that Tulsi Gabbard might be the most controversial pick. Here's AOC.
And we haven't even gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it, loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating.
Michael?
And Tulsi Gabbard's nomination, as much as she says that she's an anti-war person, she's not.
Yeah.
She supports very pro-war individuals,
including
abroad.
In Syria.
And let's be very clear, a Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank, period.
As is Donald Trump as president of the United States.
What are these fools? What are these?
Preach it, girls.
What are these idiots talking about? AOC, you voted for the Ukraine war. You voted for funding to Israel. Shut your mouth. Go put your pronouns back in your bio. Nobody's listening to you. You have no credibility. Tulsi Gabbard is anti-war. You're not. You threw your anti-war supporters under the bus when you started supporting Israel and Nancy Pelosi. I don't want to hear anything from her. And the best you can do is cast aspersions at a person who served in the military and has been opposing war since the 2020 Democratic primary when you guys threw her out of the party because you are the pro-war party. No, thank you, AOC.
So clip that starting at 21:20.
I think Michael has a crush on Tulsi Gabbard.
I do.
I think what she might have been saying is that, and I'm not agreeing with her, but I think what she was trying to say is that Tulsi Gabbard is okay with war in other places, like Russia devastating Ukraine with war. Tulsi Gabbard doesn't care about that, and so she's pro-war in that sense. Whereas she doesn't want America getting involved. She's like, yeah, that's not our problem. You'll figure it out, right? I think that's what she was saying. No,
it's a bad argument.
I'm not agreeing.
She might be saying that, but the facts don't match the facts don't match reality. She supported us sending aid to Ukraine and prolonging that war instead of engaging in the peace process in the first few months of the war and it never happening, which Tulsi Gabbard did support. So I can't even take her seriously.
Okay. What about Joy Reid? Can you take her seriously?
Yes.
There was 2 people there, Michael. Let's not forget.
Okay.
Did you see that she took her pronouns out of her bio?
Yeah, I think isn't she pregnant?
think people keep saying that. I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence of it.
What happens when Handmaid's Tale is coming to life? So you got to take your pronouns out of the bio so that you don't start wearing those red robes. Did you guys see that the red robes were sold out on Amazon, but only like the XXL size? Pretty crazy.
She took the pronouns out of the bio.
No, you just muted yourself, dude.
And you went robot for a second there.
Yeah.
She took her pronouns out of her bio, but she also changed it from U.S. Representative Character District 14 to U.S. Congresswoman. And so I feel like that's your pronoun right there. I feel like she went and just put that there. But is abandoning the movement? Is it because I think some people are saying that this shows that it's gone too far and even she's pulling back from it. Do you think that's the case? Do you think that's actually the case?
I don't understand what you're saying. Like, because she's U.S. Congresswoman, you think that that's her call? That's
she had
her
U.S. Representative before. She changed it to U.S. Congresswoman and then took the and
I mean,
also
but you see pronouns in bios and at the end of emails of very obvious men and women that are like, there's no question that you're a man or a woman. And it's always kind of confused me. Why do you do that? Like, you're obviously a man. You don't need to tell me. I know you're a dude, right?
well, right, I think same thing for her.
I understand that it's virtue. I understand that part of it, but like, what's going on in their head? Like, I wonder if somebody thinks that I'm not a man.
No, I think they're virtue signaling.
I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking weird.
Which is why I think she did it too. Like, I don't think anyone was questioning whether or not AOC was a man or a woman.
She is very hot, though.
AOC?
Favorite big boob Latina.
But if you go back to the controversial, I don't think it matters who's controversial among the Democrats. That doesn't really matter. Where it matters whether it's controversial is among establishment Republicans. And that's why I think Gates is the most controversial because he's got so many enemies within his own party. And RFK is most controversial because all those people are sitting on stacks of money from Big Pharma in the Senate. So for those two reasons, I think those two are more controversial than Tulsi. I guess her biggest thing would be like, you were a former Democrat, but I don't know that rises to the level of the two things.
Don't you think Big Pharma is going to come out heavy against RFK and like try to, I don't know, pull some strings? They wouldn't do that. Yeah. We live in a totally non-corrupt, system, but just if they could, right?
I think so.
Oh,
you saw their stock price yesterday, right?
What happened?
They had little 3 and 4 point dips while the rest of the market was going up when RFK was announced.
Good time to
there
buy.
was some reporting out that said this morning, I think 10 Republicans had said they wouldn't support Gates. So I definitely think he's probably the biggest liability for I think somebody was saying that because they're senators, a lot of them are at least 4 years from their election. And so they're less concerned about the backlash if they were to oppose him. So we'll see. I mean, but I think I don't know how many publicly said it, but the reporting I saw this morning said there were at least 10 that were indicating or saying that they would not support him. Publicly or privately?
I don't know. I think he's going to get him.
Well,
I think he's going to get everybody he wants.
InfoWars,
I could see Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski opposing it, but I don't know.
I wonder if my internet connection is being fucked right now.
Can we do the not Nancy Mace? Lauren Boebert one now?
We're going back to this. You don't know who it is.
We didn't even do it yet.